Most people think success comes from having the perfect idea, that one moment of genius where everything just clicks. But the lean startup reveals something that turns that belief upside down. Your idea doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be tested. And here's what will truly shock you. Most startups don't fail because they build the wrong product. They fail because they spend years building something nobody actually wants. If you've ever had a dream, a side project, a business idea, or a product you wanted to create, this book gives you the blueprint to avoid years of wasted effort. Before we dive into the powerful lessons, take 1 second to like and subscribe if you want more deep dive summaries and actionable content that helps you build, grow, and improve every week. The Lean Startup is written by Eric Ries, an entrepreneur who lived through the chaos of Silicon Valley, and saw firsthand how traditional business plans didn't work for modern startups. He watched companies spend months planning and building, only to fail the moment their product hit the real world. So he helped pioneer a new approach, one that emphasizes speed, learning, and constant experimentation. His goal? Show entrepreneurs how to build successful businesses with less waste, more efficiency, and higher odds of success. This book is a game changer not only for startups, but for creators, business owners, managers, and even people trying to build personal projects. Number 1. Entrepreneurs are everywhere. The book opens with a liberating idea. You don't have to be in Silicon Valley to be an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs exist everywhere, inside big corporations, nonprofits, small businesses, and even people launching side hustles from their living room. The Lean Startup method is universal. It applies to anyone building something new under uncertainty. Where in your life are you acting like an entrepreneur, even if you don't call yourself one? But being an entrepreneur doesn't mean working harder, it means working smarter. And that's where the methodology begins. Number 2. The Lean Startup method. The core of the book centers on a simple cycle. Build, measure, learn. Instead of planning endlessly, you build something small, measure how real users respond, and learn what needs to happen next. This cycle repeats, fast. The goal isn't perfection. It's progress. For example, Ries describes launching products that failed immediately, but because he learned quickly, he wasn't stuck with bad ideas for years. The faster you move through the build, measure, learn loop, the faster you find what actually works. But what exactly do you build when you start? Surprisingly, not much. Number 3. Start with an MVP, minimum viable product. This is the most famous idea from the book. An MVP is the simplest possible version of your product that lets you start learning immediately. Not perfect. Not polished. Not expensive. Just something that tests your core assumption. Examples of real-life MVPs. Dropbox started with a simple explainer video, no working product yet. Zappos began with a guy taking photos of shoes in stores, posting them online, and buying them full price when someone ordered. Food delivery apps often start with manual Uber-style deliveries before developing complex tech. The MVP saves time, money, and years of wasted effort. What's one idea you've sat on because you thought it needed to be perfect first? But once you launch your MVP, you need a way to measure success, and most metrics lie. Number 4. Validated learning. Traditional businesses measure success with big numbers, revenue, downloads, user count. But these can be vanity metrics, they look good but don't tell you if your idea is working. Validated learning is about measuring real progress, not fake progress. You ask. Did the MVP teach us something? Did users actually want the product? Did behavior match what they said? Are we closer to a sustainable business? Validated learning turns every experiment into actionable insight. It's like trying a workout routine and tracking strength gains instead of just tracking hours at the gym. Once you have real data, you face a critical decision, and it might be the hardest one in the book. Number 5. Pivot or persevere. After going through several build measure learn cycles, you reach a crossroads. Do you pivot? Change direction based on what you've learned? Or persevere? Double down because the data says you're onto something? Pivots come in many forms. Changing your target customer. Changing the problem you solve. Changing your product's features. Changing your channel of distribution. Changing your business model. For example, Instagram started as a complicated check-in app called Bourbon. Hardly anyone used it. But users loved the photo sharing part, so they pivoted and focused entirely on that. The rest is history. What project in your life might need a pivot instead of more effort? But how do you know what to measure? Most businesses track the wrong numbers. Number 6. Innovation accounting. This sounds boring, but it's incredibly powerful. Innovation accounting is about tracking meaningful metrics that tell you whether your startup is actually improving. Instead of vague goals, you set actionable, testable milestones, like increase the percentage of users who complete a sign-up. Reduce the number of people who abandon the onboarding process. Improve retention from day 1 to day 7. These metrics tell the truth. They reveal progress. They show what's working. In personal life, this is like tracking how many healthy meals you ate per week instead of how many minutes you thought about eating healthy. But tracking isn't enough. You need to create an environment where innovation can thrive, even inside big organizations. Number 7. Build lean teams. Whether you're in a huge corporation or a 2-person startup, you need teams that move fast, experiment often, and communicate clearly. Lean teams. Work cross-functionally. Share responsibility. Reduce handoffs. Iterate quickly. Avoid overplanning. Focus on the customer, not internal politics. This speed gives startups an advantage over traditional organizations. Do you operate like a lean team in your personal goals, or do you overthink everything before taking action? Now let's look at one principle that separates successful startups from those that collapse under pressure. Number 8. Continuous deployment and learning. Instead of launching big updates every few months, lean startups launch small changes constantly. Why? Faster feedback. Fewer bugs. Less risk. More learning. Better innovation. Easier fixes. Think of it like practicing a skill daily instead of trying to master it in a weekend. Big companies like Amazon deploy updates thousands of times per day because constant iteration makes them stronger. One startup, Ries, worked with deployed new features dozens of times each day, learning more in a week than competitors learned in months. But what happens when things go wrong? That's when the lean startup method shines even brighter. Number 9. The lean startup at scale. A common myth: lean only works for small companies. Wrong. Big companies use lean startup principles to innovate without risking everything. They create internal, startup teams that experiment with new ideas while being protected from corporate politics and pressure. Companies like Toyota, GE, Intuit, Dropbox, Airbnb all use lean principles to grow faster and smarter. The message is clear. Lean is a mindset, not a size. Here are the most valuable, actionable lessons from the lean startup. Number 1. Build something small, then learn from it. Don't wait years to launch. Start now. Number 2. You are not your idea. Your idea will evolve. Let the data shape it. Number 3. MVPs save you from huge mistakes. Test with real users before investing heavily. Number 4. Focus on meaningful metrics, not vanity metrics. Likes, downloads, and traffic aren't real success indicators. Number 5. Pivot when the data tells you to. Persistence is good, stubbornness is fatal. Number 6. Build fast, measure honestly, learn quickly. This cycle is your engine of growth. Number 7. Treat your life like a startup. Experiment. Try new goals. Track progress. Learn what works. Reflective questions for viewers. What idea could you test with an MVP this month? What metrics in your life or business matter most? Do you need to pivot something you've been pushing too hard? The Lean Startup teaches us that success doesn't belong to those with perfect ideas, it belongs to those who learn fastest. It belongs to those who experiment constantly, stay flexible, and focus on building something people truly want. Whether you're launching a business, creating content, or pursuing a personal goal, this book gives you a method that reduces waste and increases your chances of lasting success. If you want to dive deeper into these game-changing strategies, check the link in the description to grab your copy of The Lean Startup. It might be the guide that transforms the way you build anything from this point forward. And let me know in the comments. What's the first idea you want to test using the Lean Startup method?